I wasn't trying to spy on her. I swear I wasn't. But that night, everything changed. It all started with a simple, stupid mistake. She left her phone on my couch after she went to the bathroom. As I was channel surfing, the screen suddenly lit up. A notification from an unknown number. Just 3 words. "You up?" I didn't open it. I'm not that guy. I trust her. Or I thought I did. I didn't need to open the message because something else caught my eye. Something much stranger. The contact name wasn't a name at all. It was just a dash, a single long line. Who saves a contact as just a dash? Before I could think about it too much, she came back into the room. She saw her phone, screen still lit, and snatched it up. Way too fast. The movement was almost violent, like she was afraid I'd seen something. Her whole body was tense. Trying to keep it casual, I asked, "Who texted?" She didn't even look at me. She just mumbled, "Wrong number," while her thumbs flew across the screen. But I saw her hands. They were shaking. I'm not a confrontational person, so I let it go. Or at least I pretended to. I told myself it was nothing. A weird friend, a spam text, whatever. But the image of that single dash burned itself into my mind. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. 2 days later, the feeling got worse. It was another late night. We were watching a movie, and she was scrolling through her phone, half paying attention. Then it happened again. The screen lit up with a notification, and for a split second, I saw it. Same dash contact, same late hour. My stomach dropped. Once is a coincidence. Twice is a pattern. And that's when I noticed something that made my blood run cold. As she tilted her phone, the light caught the side just right. I saw the faint outline of a second SIM card tray. 2 SIM cards, 2 different numbers. I had been with her for 2 years, and I never knew she had a second number. Who needs a second number unless they have something to hide? My mind started racing, jumping to the most obvious and painful conclusion. Was she seeing someone else? Was this whole relationship a lie? The questions were like a poison, seeping into every good memory we had together. But I didn't say anything. I couldn't. What if I was wrong? What if there was a simple explanation, and I ended up looking like a jealous, paranoid fool? So I waited. I watched her, looking for more signs, for any slip-up that would confirm my fears. Every time her phone buzzed, my heart would hammer against my ribs. Every time she smiled at a text, I wondered who was on the other end. The suspense was eating me alive. The breaking point came a few nights later. She fell asleep early, exhausted from a long week at work. She was curled up on the bed, looking so peaceful, so innocent. Her phone was on the nightstand, face down. The temptation was overwhelming. I knew it was wrong. I knew it was a massive violation of her trust. But I couldn't live with the not knowing anymore. It was exactly 3:07 a.m. The world was quiet, and my thoughts were deafening. My heart was pounding so hard, I thought it would wake her up. I carefully, silently picked up her phone. My hands felt clumsy, sweaty. I fumbled with her password. I knew it, of course. We had that kind of trust, or so I thought. I went straight to her settings, and there it was, plain as day. Dual SIM settings, 2 active numbers. One was her number, the one I knew, the one I called every day. The other, I didn't recognize it. A cold dread washed over me. This was it. The proof, I quickly copied the number into my own phone. My finger hovered over the call button. I was about to blow up my entire life with one tap. But I had to know. I had to know who she was talking to at all hours of the night. I took a deep breath and pressed call. I expected her purse to start ringing, or maybe a second phone hidden in her drawer. But there was nothing. The apartment was silent, except for the sound of my own ragged breathing and the faint ringing tone in my ear. The ringing was coming from somewhere else, not from the bedroom, not from the living room. It was coming from the hallway, outside my apartment. I froze, phone still pressed to my ear. Who was in the hallway at 3 in the morning? The ringing stopped abruptly. And then I heard it, Footsteps. Slow, deliberate footsteps right outside my front door. My blood turned to ice. Was it him? Was the person she was cheating with right outside my door? Did he know I was onto them? I crept out of the bedroom, my body rigid with fear and adrenaline. I peered through the peephole, my eye wide, expecting to see a stranger's face staring back. But there was no one there. The hallway was empty. But as I watched, the light above the elevator doors flickered on. The arrow pointed down. Someone had just been here. Someone who had answered the call. My phone buzzed in my hand, making me jump. Unknown number calling back. The number I had just dialed. My thumb shook as I swiped to answer. I put the phone to my ear, but said nothing. For a few seconds, there was only dead air, then a whisper. A voice that was both familiar and terrifyingly different. You weren't supposed to call this one. It was her voice. My girlfriend's voice. But that was impossible. She was asleep in the bedroom behind me. I spun around, my heart in my throat. I looked back into the bedroom. She was still there, lying in bed, unmoving. The moonlight from the window cast a pale glow on her face. Her eyes were closed. She looked fast asleep. But the phone was now clutched in her hand. When had she picked it up? I didn't see her move. A notification lit up my screen. A text message from the second number. My hands were trembling so violently I could barely read it. 5 words that shattered my reality. Now he knows what we are. We? Who was we? I felt something inside me crack. A fundamental understanding of the world breaking apart. At that exact moment, the bedroom door, which I had left slightly ajar, creaked open on its own. I hadn't touched it. She was still in bed. A sliver of bright light from the hallway cut through the darkness of the room. I felt a pull, an invisible force drawing me towards the door. My feet moved on their own, one slow step after another. My mind was screaming at me to run, to get out, but my body wouldn't listen. As I reached the doorway and looked out into the brightly lit hall, the final horrifying piece of the puzzle clicked into place. I don't know how I knew, I just did. I pulled up the contact information for that mysterious second number on my phone. And that's when the world fell away. The second number wasn't for another guy. It wasn't for cheating. It was registered under my name. And I have absolutely no memory of ever getting it.